Good morning, brothers and sisters. Afternoon, evening. Way down here in Alabama in the rain, waiting in the car. My wife's trying to find some paint. We got a little project going. So I thought I'd get out here in the car and pontificate a little bit. I was thinking about this word, fake news. Fake news. I want to talk about that a little bit. You know, when I do these videos, I act like I finally learning how to act like I'm talking to somebody because, really I'm just talking to a phone, but maybe there's somebody out there, Usually there's one or two that are listening. So that's one of the tricks you have to learn, just, after you get used to it to start doing is to uh, act like you're talking to somebody. But anyway, the thought here today was uh, fake news. What I think about fake news. Well, there used to be this in the late 50s and 60s. There was this show on television called "Tell the Truth," and they had people would come on, and there'd be three people, there'd be three people. Even back then, they were giving us the numbers, but anyway, they would have three people, and you'd have to figure out which one of those was telling the truth. But really, probably none of them were. But they would. You'd have to find out the occupation of them. What they were doing. Just by asking them some questions. And then at the end of the thing, they'd say, "Well, the real John Doe, please stand up." And then, so I'm gonna I believe I'm gonna name this little video. Well, the real fake news, please stand up. The real fake news, please stand up. Well, I don't expect them to stand up and tell you who they are, but I've learned, I figured this out, that back when the word fake news was coined, they got, you would hear Trump use the word fake news, and that's one of their tactics. They get out and they coin a word, and they get out in front of the word, and they start using it. Fake news, but the Trump would use it, for fake news, but it doesn't have the meaning to me when Trump uses it. It does the real meaning of the word fake news. To them, it means, well, they're telling a story on me every once in a while. Sometimes they tell the truth, and, they use it kind of like that, So fake news can be kind of they get it right most of the time, but not, but and then they look down their nose I noticed at the same time that this fake news came out, the networks were acting like, oh yeah, of course, this thing over here called the internet, that's really the fake news. That's really these crazy conspiracy theorists. That's really the fake news over here on social media. And then they would be they would portray themselves as the real legit news, but there was fake news. So they got right out in front of it at the very beginning, and started using that word, kind of as yeah, we're the good old boys that, every once in a while we might get it wrong. That's what you think about fake news when they want you to think about them. Every once in a while they get it wrong, but no, it can't be. The real fake news is this, that they are contriving from the very beginning to mislead the masses by the network news, by the news media. That's the fake news. They're really the bad guys in here. And then they look, and then they tell you over here where the real truth, some truth, is getting through over here on the internet, brothers and sisters. I want to tell you, some truth is getting over. But they say, well, that's really the social media over here. That's where you get. And so they pack this social media with a bunch of misinformation, and act like everybody's a kook over there. Even they put their guys. That's one of their tactics. They put their guys out there, and they a bunch of kooks, and they act like they're on your side. They act like they're one of the truth tellers, and then they say, "Look at that crazy nut over there." Say, That's where the fake news is, you know. But I want to tell you, brothers and sisters, the fake news is in the airways now, the networks, in my view. That's where you fake news at. You can get some truth over on social media. Some, you know, it might be tucked away in a corner now somewhere, way back where you can't find it. But if you search sometime, you can get some truth uh, by some unknown person out there that's telling the truth. You can find truth on the internet. I remember when I was first was working in the cotton mills, and they just had put in the internet, and we would sneak out there sometime and look at the internet that was just coming, you know, just getting into just starting up, you know. And there would be people get on there and tell you that the cotton mills were going to be gone. Cotton mills were gone from the South, not too far in the future. And we all had us a big laugh, you know. These cotton mills been here since the Civil War, and they're not going nowhere. And they told us how it was going to happen, brothers and sisters, and that it was going, that they were going to be gone. And guess what? They're gone. And when I ride by now, I see a open field out there. So, brothers and sisters, you can get some truth on the internet, on the social media, but you can't get any truth on the network of the airways. People are controlling the airways now. You can't get any truth. If they give you the truth, it's going to be just so they can get you. They might give you some factual information sometime, but it's all contrived. They got a reason for giving you some factual information. And I used to say, well, you get the truth on the weather. Yeah, well, you do get the truth pretty much on the weather. Yeah, I agree. But even when they're showing you that, no, they're showing you when on the weather. They'll tell you that here comes this satellite. Be sure to look out your window and see the satellite go by. Which that is a story too, brothers and sisters. They'll tell you also when they're showing you the weather, they'll have a ball there. You know, have it like a Earth on the little weather map. They'll have that there. So even that they're trying to manipulate the masses, even with the weather. And some people say that they're seeing clouds and doing stuff, trying to manipulate that. Who knows, you know. But anyway, just want to get on here and talk about the fake news. Who will the real fake news stand up? Like that old The Tell the Truth thing I used to watch back in the 50s and the late 60s. Johnny Carson and who was it? Well, there was several people now that you would recognize that were on that show. But anyway, I don't expect them to stand up and tell you that they're telling you a story. But what I'm trying to tell you, brothers, is they got out in front of this word fake news and made it sound like, you know, just we might get it wrong, you know, once in a while. But these bad guys over here on the social media, you don't know what kind of crazy kooks they are. Then they go over there and load the social media with a bunch of kooks and say, see, look at there. Look at those kooks over there. You can't get any truth over here. They're a bunch of nuts. But anyway, the word, you know, that I was thinking about was fake news. Will the real fake news please stand up? I'm saying the real fake news is what we get, what everybody thinks is legit. They're not legit, but they're telling you a story. If you tune in on my channel, I'm telling everybody not to believe in a word that they say because it's getting worse and worse. You know, they got an agenda, and if it fits their agenda, they'll tell the truth. But if their end game is to deceive the masses, to lead them in a way that they want them to go. Anyway, that's just the little word. I made a long enough video on this one. Hope I've got it all. Watched in there. getting a few knickknacks, paint brushes and things. We're gonna do some painting here, and I'm kind of enjoying this weather though. It is nice, you know, changing over seasons. You know, don't mind if it rains, but already made one video today. It was talking about my. It was showing the beach scene of the sun enveloped in the clouds, and I commented on that. That's probably the last one I'm gonna do about that, you know. But at the end of that video, I'm starting to put up some of my songs with, that I've done since I've been on the internet. I did a few little songs. I have to wait on them. I can't, you know, I have to get a thought before I can make a song. But I don't want it to be, you know, just making a song to make a song. I want my song to say something. I don't want to just be singing about nothing. I want it to have a message, you know, in it, you know. But anyway, I'll get out of here. And the name of this video, I think I'm gonna call this one the real fake news. Please stand up. Anyway, I'm gonna go shopping here, and I just want to say two things. We need to live at peace with everybody. Follow peace with all men. Try to follow peace with everybody. And peace and love from this old boy down here in Alabama.